In today's class, we're going to be starting the fifth stage of this teacher reading project. The end result, hopefully, is going to look a little bit like this, or maybe like this. I'll talk to you in a minute about the visual rubric. Quick review though, we remember that in the first day we created portraits of yourselves, saved it as PNGs, and then we created student logos, we cut out the teachers, added the books, distorted it, did a little special effects. Today what we're going to be doing is putting these ingredients together so that we're working on what's going to be saved as a PSD at the end of class, so that hopefully tomorrow we can finalize and submit as a JPEG. So again, here we've got an example in which we've got the title and the author with a little color inversion, right? So it's light on red and then red on light with the background I created using the rectangular marquee, which we can see is just sort of floating right there, right? We've got a nice visual in the background that's thematically relevant. We got the teacher with the book cover cut out nicely. We've got the little blurb, and we've got your logo. And Hamlin did not create this. I popped this in as an example of what yours should look like. And here we've got Mr. Sprinkle, and it adheres to the same criteria. So this is the template. This is what we're going to be working with. So you got to have the teacher image approximately here. And you know, let's jump right on in and let's create this together. So you're going to reference that spreadsheet, and when you go to the spreadsheet, you're going to find your name and the teacher that you're working with. So I know that we have Miss Lawton, and Jorge and Jared are going to be working on Miss Lawton's poster. So the first thing that we're going to do is find the book title, the blurb, and then if there's a related image, you can certainly check that out. I went to Amazon and I did a little research. I checked out this book and I noticed that the setting of this book is in Harlem. And so what I did was did a little Google search. I checked out everything that I thought was cool, and I feel like this is the optimal background. So I'm going to view image. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to paste it all over, right over the back. I'm going to press Command T. I'm going to increase the size. Amazing. Press check. I know that we've got to include the logo, so I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to simply drag it in. I'm going to pop it in the bottom. Command T. And you're going to be putting the logo in many of the projects that you create this year, not just this one. So I look forward to seeing that logo all around the hallways. We've got Miss Lawton, and this one was in fact cut out by Hamlin. Well done. I'm going to pop this in the template, and I'm going to press Command T to make her a little bit bigger. So she's going to be approximately this size. And I know that if I click the eye in the layers palette, like right here, what happens is that background disappears, and I can see that she's right where she needs to be. Amazing. So next what I'm going to do is we're going to add the title, and I'm actually going to shift this background over, and the reason I'm going to shift it over some is because I'm looking for some space where we can write text where there's not a lot of contrast, and I feel like in the sky is going to be the best place to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the text tool, the type tool, and I'm going to write Miss Lawton is reading ... and I'm going to make this size, let's try 36. I like that. It's a little too dark. A little too light. There's not enough contrast, so I'm going to make this from white to black. And this sentence should be in either white or black. You guys are going to sort of decide what looks best. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to write the title like so with a little bit of background, and then we're going to invert the colors to do that. We need to select two colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select red, and I'm going to select this light blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press T. All right, let's press T. And in fact, if we could return to that spreadsheet, we can actually simply copy and paste. Behold the dreamers, Photoshop. Left click, Command V. I'm going to press Command A, and check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to click the black box, and I could choose red, right? But I don't know if I'm getting the exact red that we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the mouse away from this little matrix and a little color picker, and I'm going to select. You'll notice it turns into an eyedropper. I'm going to select that right there, and it turns into the exact red. Beautiful. That's precisely what we're looking for. We need a fun font. I'm going to tell you how to find fonts in a moment. We've got lots of fonts that we can choose from, and I just downloaded one a moment ago, and it's the Exquisite Regular, and I like this font. I'm going to press check. I'm going to press Command T. I'm going to hold Shift, behold the dreamers. And so now what I'm going to do is we're going to copy and paste, definitely copy and paste this name because I'm afraid I would misspell it by accident. Likewise for you guys, copy and paste. It's your best friend. Command C, Command V. I'm going to click. I'm going to press Command A. I'm going to click this red box up here, right? But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the eyedropper tool once more. And I'm going to get the lightest light in this tie. We want, all right, that looks great right there. And I'm going to press check. All right, so now what do we do? So we're going to create a new layer underneath this text. I'm going to then select the rectangular marquee. I'm going to left click like so. I'm going to grab the paint bucket and I'm going to click the foreground color. Now when I select the foreground color, just like before, instead of guessing the color, I'm going to get that same color and I'll select the text. Boom. And so I'm going to press OK. Again, we created a new layer underneath that text. Paint bucket, Command D. Beautiful. I'm going to create one more new layer. I'm going to select the foreground color. I'm going to select this text that we had before. I'm going to press OK. Rectangular marquee, again, we're on a new layer, and I'm going to go like so. Paint bucket. Boom. We've got a little color inversion. And then finally, what is the last step to earn yourself an A? Well, in addition to adding 2017, we've got to include this little blurb. So I'm going to press Command A. Let's see. Command A, Command C, return to Photoshop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is very crucial. Shift her over a little bit. That looks good. All right, so what we're going to do is previously I've been clicking once, right, and then pressing Command V to paste. But you'll notice that it goes on for a while because this is a lot of text. It's going off the page quite a bit. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to press Command A. I'm going to reduce the size from 36 to, let's try 14. Let's try 14. And I could click enter and then enter again and so on and so forth, but we don't want to do that. So I'm going to press escape. And instead of clicking once, I'm going to left click and I'm holding down. I've got the type tool selected. I'm holding down and this is going to create a container for the text. I'm going to release now. I'm going to press Command V. I'm going to get a simple font. Let's Command A. Let's get a simple font. I like that font. Let's try the text 16. That's too small. Let's try, so it's a lot of little experimentation, right? 24, that looks great. I'm going to do Command A. I'm going to make this text black. All right, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Dros, you're always talking about contrast. If you're always talking about contrast, then how come I can't see this text? Well, unlike with Mr. Sprinkle's project, right, where the background is pretty stable, it's pretty consistent. This has a lot going on. So what we're going to do is just like with the book cover, book title, and then author's name, we're going to create a new layer underneath the text. And I'm going to left click and drag. I'm using the rectangular marquee. I'm going to use the paint bucket. And if this text is black, then the foreground color I'm going to use is white. I'm going to left click and I'm going to press Command D. I'm going to press V and then 3, 4, 5, I'm experiencing 6 to drop the opacity. And now all of a sudden, this looks pretty good. What I am going to do, on second thought, I'm going to click this text and I'm going to shift it over like so. I'm going to press Command A and I'm going to drop it from 24 to 20. Check. I'm going to bring this down like so. Shift it over like so. And I think this is going to look a little bit stronger. Great. You'll notice I'm doing lots of experimentation. I'm going to click right here, Command T to adjust this to that size. And I think this looks pretty amazing. We're going to write 2017 in the top left-hand corner. And this took me 4 or 5 minutes to create. Once you produce this, you're going to get an A+ in this project. I'm really excited about seeing your work and showcasing it for the school. We'll definitely be printing it up. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.